Hey there, it's Juju, and today is day 78. And so I'm going to talk about a quote today in my time in prison yesterday. And the quote is, hurt people, and hurting people hurts. Healed people, heal people, and healing people heals. That's from Kazu Haga in Healing Resistance. And I was in Soledad Prison yesterday, sitting in family, as we call it, with my brothers in blue, the incarcerated men. These men are working towards rehabilitation. And we say a lot when you're in prison and you're looking at the cause of violence, you say hurt people, hurt people. But then there's also the concept of hurting people hurts yourself. And I believe that that's true. I mean, it's one of the laws of the principles of nonviolence is avoid internal violence of the soul, because when you hurt other people, you are hurt. And it's just an extension of hurt and hurt and hurt. But now let's talk about healing. And healed people heal people. And you see people who are going through, who have caused great harm. And there's some harms cannot be repaired. You're always wanting to see, how can we repair the harm? If someone is dead, has been killed, there's no repairing of that harm. But also life doesn't stop in that moment. It does for that person. But life does go on, and healing does happen. And to see men who have done so much work towards their healing, looking at where the sources of their violence have come from and changing that source. There was a group that I hadn't heard of yesterday in prison. Got a spider web here. And now I'm not going to be able to think of it. It was called GRIP, but it was turning your rage, using your rage into healing. So it's not by denying your rage and pushing it down, or your sadness, or the things that have happened to you, or the things that you've done, so that when you're taking accountability for the harm that you've caused, and it's not just admitting that you've caused harm, it's trying to repair. And when I'm doing restorative justice processes, how do we repair? Who was harmed? How can we repair it? But it's beautiful. We focus a lot on the hurt, but I think what we need to focus is on the healing. And so a lot of these men, as they're coming out of prison, have done the work. And when you're around a healed person, it is healing. So the leader in my circle yesterday was the facilitator. And I found out he also facilitates with alternatives to violence, which I'm going to be going back in and doing. And his knowledge and his self-examination, his historical knowledge, his psychological knowledge, it was so impressive. And there was a calmness and a healing that came from sitting in that circle with those men as they discussed their own experiences, their own past, their own, harm that they caused. It was a beautiful thing. So for all of us, we've all been hurt, and we've all hurt other people. But now I think is a time to really focus on the healing. So heal yourself, and by healing yourself, you can then heal others. So this is Juju, unfiltered, unscripted, unedited, just a few thoughts. My friend Margot sent me that quote this morning, and it really resonated, especially after my experience in prison yesterday. So lead with love and try to do some healing, both of yourself and others.